Hey buddies, it's Victor. It's time for kinda wacky Wednesday. I've been feeling in a wacky mood lately, obviously with yesterday's episode, and now today's episode we're going to be playing as the Lost, just because I just felt like switching it up. And it's been a while since I played as the Lost, and I kind of need a little bit of practice, I feel like. So we're still waiting for another video to cross 3,000 likes, everybody. So if you'd like to support the channel and also get the like streak counter back up on the screen so we can make our way towards that like streak goal of doing the worst ranked items tier list run, then click the like button, leave a comment down below. Those are the best ways to support my channel, and thank you for those of you who go through the process of doing so each and every day. Here's your meme slash artwork of the day, sent in a few days ago by Lord Gecko, or Lord Geeko. Maybe they spelled it with numbers, so it's a little bit difficult to figure out what they're going for. But the title thread was Sin checking on Little Sissy, and I definitely like this. There's a little bit more subtlety to this piece than it was than initially, like, on first glance, because like you kind of look at the fire, it's got like sort of like a spiky hair thing going on top of it being flames. So really cool. And again, everyone knows I love the sort of the ballpoint slash Sharpie look to everything. So thank you very much, Lord Geeko, and everyone who upvoted that one. Top on in. Is this a good idea or a bad idea? Probably a bad idea, but we're playing the Lost today. Juliet Papa Charlie 78861. Curse of Lost, yeah, it's gonna be appropriate. So let's talk about the Lost real quick. Lost is gonna start off with Spectral Tears and Flying, which is very good. Also starts with Holy Mantle, which is also very good. You would even in some parts of the world call that muy bueno. But you gotta worry about your HP. HP is obviously going to be the biggest part of playing as a Lost safely anyway. Because you don't have any HP. I don't know if you noticed that or not. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Essentially, that's what Holy Mantle is for, and staying safe means dealing damage from a distance, making sure you're using lots and lots of range, as much as you can using those Spectral Tears, and just staying as far back as possible. Now, if we end up getting a run that balls out of control, obviously the Lost becomes a lot easier to play. But early going, you're going to probably be utilizing Flying and Spectral Tears the most out of the things that keep you safe. Now, he also does start off with the Eternal Desizzle, which, as everyone knows, is not one of my favorite items, because I don't like having my item pedestals being like slurped up by the game just at random. But you know, when it comes down to it, if you need a reroll, it's better to have the Eternal D6 than nothing, I suppose. Because at least, like, you know, it's like you didn't lose anything good. You know, if you're re-rolling an item, it probably wasn't good enough to take anyway. So, but at the same time, it's kind of a gamble, because then you get these mediocre items that are not quite too good to not re-roll, but not good enough to take automatically. So yeah, it puts you in a weird position. Also, this is a huge, ginormous first floor. And I thought I was going towards the item room, but I ended up inadvertently going to the boss. So we're going to back out and go find the item room. But I actually don't mind playing as the Lost every now and then. Unlike Tainted Lost, of course, well, that's a whole other can of worms. But playing as regular Lost can be fun. There's some people who like to streak as the Lost. More power to them. I think that even as a character that I don't mind playing, the Lost is still definitely a gimmick character, is what I like to call them. And gimmick characters essentially thrive. Where is the item room? Like, legit, where is this item room, game? Because I've been everywhere, to my knowledge. Did we not go over here? We didn't go over here. Wow, this is a humongous first floor. There were 3 double wide rooms. That's insane. You know this is floor 1, right, game? All right, I'm just checking to make sure, because, man. Anyway, the Lost is definitely a gimmick character. He might be the gimmick characters of all gimmick characters from the OG days. By gimmick character, I mean there's not a whole lot that the game has to do to beat you. And in this case, the difficulty of the Lost doesn't necessarily lie in his stats or anything like that. It instead lies within his gimmick of having no HP. You can die basically in any way, shape, or form, and that's it. Like, the game can just kill you for no reason. I mean, gimmick characters in the game, I include Tainted Jacob in there. Obviously, he's the gimmicky of all gimmickiest characters. It's hard for me to say. Tainted Lost, Tainted Lazarus, lots of tainted characters, put it pretty much. Tainted Cain is gimmicky for a different reason, but We do have a reroll, so I can go back and reroll the golden razor blade whenever we get there. But first off, let's go make our way towards this very long-winded first floor boss. Now, we do have to be careful against Widow. Widow's not automatic, especially Black Widow, so we got to be careful of the spiders, obviously. We cannot depend on her to destroy the spiders for us. The biggest danger with Widow is normally not herself, but her ads that she spawns. So she can kind of take you by surprise if she jumps. And depending on where she lands, I mean. Yeah, so that's slightly better than Mom's bottle of pills, or Mom's coin purse, and yeah. All right, so we can go into the curse rooms for free, essentially. We just need to make sure we don't get hit in here, obviously. Because we have the Holy Mantle, there's no reason for us to pick up any soul hearts because they just don't do anything. It would be cool if if there was an interaction between the Holy Mantle or like our tiers or stats or something like that with the Tainted Lost and Lost characters. I think that honestly one of the best ways to improve these characters to make them slightly more fun to play would be to give them like a passive soul locket to where we gain not huge amounts of stats, but just an incremental amount of stats every time a soul heart drops, just to give us like something to do with them. You know what I mean? We don't really need fast bombs. We really don't need Evil Eye either, but fast bombs, you know, I mean, we could use them for offense, but we are playing as the Lost, so it's unlikely that we're going to be using them for offense, as that is just a very dangerous proposition. Now, with us taking an early champion belt here, we got to be careful because we are going to be spawning other champions, which can work out for the better. We are going to be gaining a, yeah, we pretty much have to. We are going to be gaining some extra drops thanks to us fighting champions, but we also have to be careful of champion bosses. Go ahead and just pull the band-aid off here. There we go. Going to be Limehorn. Now, this is not going to be like yesterday's Limehorn fight. That was... excuse me, so many people. But, like, this fight is excruciating. Like, I cannot watch this. And I don't blame you, like, for skipping over that fight. I really don't. But we have much better DPS here on the Lost. And honestly, I mean, going back to yesterday's run, like, it ended up being a surprisingly super good run. Like, having options, it just shows you just the power of being able to select the items that you want from any given run. Get to do this whole song and dance again in this room. Luckily, our damage is higher thanks to Cat of Nine Tails, and of course, you see how strong having flying and spectral tears combined with is. And, you know, our shot speed is also fantastic as well. So we really, really get to stretch out our range here for the good of our safety. But as with any gimmick character, you cannot get complacent. This is not a character that you can be like, oh, we're totally fine. Yuck. No. You gotta remember who you're playing as. Don't ever forget your role here as the Lost, because that's when the game's gonna get you. I guess I theoretically could re-roll the store here. Now the big question is, for the Lost, do you go Devil or Angel Deals? I would say almost exclusively you go Devil Deals. Namely, the chief reason why is because you just want offense. The best defense on this character is going to be a great offense. Now, obviously, since we don't have any HP, we don't have to worry about losing any HP for a Devil Deal, but we can only take one. That's the thing. So you better have your choices down whenever you get your Devil Deals, because you can literally only choose one, and there's no way of getting around that, because the other ones disappear. Regular old HP upgrades, and 2 completely useless items in here, because Bloody Gust literally does nothing for us, because we can't take damage. And Let Me Get Down is Let Me Get Bad for the Lost. We could take it for the Bookworm, but I'm going to re-roll, and yeah. Pentagram is way, way, way better than that. And we got plenty of bombs here, so we could look for the secret room, which is not here. Could be there. It's actually probably there. Okay. Some more money is fine by me. There was no full charge. Nope. Okay. Good. At least we got ourselves a very good damage upgrade. Our DPS is still curving very nicely. And we might as well just take this because maybe we'll get Esau Jr. or something. I don't know. Okay. The green champions always worry me because you don't know how they split when they're invisible like that. Our damage is quite good right now. But before we get too serious, because it's going to start getting a little bit more tense as we keep going deeper and deeper into the crawl space here, I'm going to answer last week's comments of the episode, which was on the most fun run ever. First Maze, you can just politely F off. I'd appreciate it. Trying to do a segment here. Thanks. And I simply asked, what is your take on the D12? And the D12 definitely made that run for what it was. And lots of people have opinions about the D12. And some of them surprising, some of them not surprising, because I think that I influenced it quite heavily every time I either talk about the D12 or use the D12. So let me get out of this hellhole of a room first, and then I'll talk about the most upvoted comment. I can't stop to look at the other monitor right now. All right, the most upvoted comment was from Zara7402, who said, it can be very clutch when you least expect it by spawning tinted rocks, but it can also spawn a spiked rock or purple fires that make you take unnecessary damage. I like the D20 better, though. And, you know, I would partially agree with the D20, statement. I don't know if I like the D20 better than the D12. Because the D12 can do so many things for you. Like, it's... The D12 can lead to D20-esque type plays, right? But I understand what you're getting at. The D20 gives you... what you see is what you get. We don't necessarily want Dreamcatcher here. It would cut down on unnecessary risk, I suppose. Pandora's Box gives us a boss item. I mean... Let's see what this tarot card is. Emperor! That could be pretty huge. Okay, so the Emperor card obviously is going to take us to the boss room, which we can use twofold. We can use it either for an emergency teleport in case we end up losing our Holy Mantle early in a room, or obviously we can save it for Blue Baby or whoever we end up fighting. Probably Blue Baby. To be honest, I'm not really... I'm feeling wacky, but I ain't feeling like, let's go first lap beast on Lost wacky. No, thank you. Done that once, don't want to do it again. Not without some assurance, anyway. Not without some extra lives or transformation. We got that full charge, so we can get this reroll if we want it. This lowers our movement speed by a lot. It's not worth 1 damage in range. Hot bombs is fine. Hot bombs we can use. If we were playing anyone other than the Lost, I would totally have taken Fat on Mushroom, but in this configuration, we can't. I don't think it's wise. Now, we could have waited to at least see what the boss drop was before we got it. If it was a movement speed upgrade, then yeah, we'll go back and take Fat on Mushroom. But as it stands right now, we really cannot. Possible money here, or 1 pill and 1 cent. All right. Well, we just wanted to get 1 charge on the Eternal D6 so we can possibly reroll a Devil Deal. Non-champion Mega Fatty. I'm gonna get rid of these barrels because they can be kind of dangerous. You can see as to why you would not want to reduce your movement speed ever. The Lost. Get a movement speed upgrade. Great. Perfection obviously is huge for the Lost. And we didn't need to reroll anything. Was there... No, we took Dreamcatcher. No, we didn't take Dreamcatcher. What did Dreamcatcher roll into? I've already forgotten. The next upvoted comment, by the way, as we going back to the shop here, was from, I'm going to say, Gnertz7870, who said, I feel like it's a sleeper item because it doesn't have immediate results, and there are multiple steps to the success. Amazing item when you take the time to utilize it properly, though. And yeah, that's what I made on a hunch. Okay, never mind. It was just gas. Here? Okay, it was half gas. World card, moon card, nah. Mate? Nah, mate. Want to have our Emperor card. That's one of the points that I was making in that episode, I believe, where I talked about utilizing, you get, the more time that you put into the D12, the more you get out of it, right? Like, the extended the rewards become, sort of a way. And I think that the most important thing with the D12 is just to remember that, like, you're not married to using it in one room, right? You look at rooms differently when you have the D12. Like, you look at any room that has a bunch of rocks like this one here, we normally wouldn't even care about. But if we had the D12, though, if we had the D12, we'd be looking at something good. Did we get Curse the Maze again? Is this like this has got to be the third or fourth Curse the Maze, right? I feel like we've had a Curse the Maze on every single floor on this entire run. Am I going insane, or is that something that happened? Now, we do lose some damage here, obviously, with 2020, but man. 2020 kind of making a little bit of a renaissance in the mosh pit. The rankings of items that are, you know, once considered to be like the best item in the world, and then now it's not so much. And then now it's starting to come back a little bit. So I think that taking 2020 is I think it's always worth it. Having the double shot is just so good, especially if you have like already a decent amount of tiers, which our tiers rate isn't great. Don't get me wrong. It's not like phenomenal, but it could be a lot worse. Secret room. Secret room. Not really anything that we would want from the Judgment, to be honest. I mean, we could get mapping, I suppose. But I'm not going to use a reroll on this pedestal yet, assuming that we get something that we don't want. Because we're about to go fight a boss, and then we have a 95% double deal chance. Surely we won't fail that one, right? 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 Get a shot speed upgrade. Gives a Lover's card, very useful for the Lost. Then we get Shade or Brimstone Bombs. Brimstone Bombs. Ooh. Okay. 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 I'll take 9 lives. 9 lives in the Lost is also pretty huge. In fact, you could say it's one of the hugest of the huge. Unlike Tainted Lost, regular Lost doesn't have to worry about not getting 9 lives. You can actually have a little bit of fun on this character, which is the reason why I will play regular Lost over Tainted Lost any day of the week. You know, people ask me to play Tainted Jacob all the time, and I tell them, like, you know, that could be a like streak goal, I suppose, but unless if I'm forced to play him, via either like street goal or random, yeah, your boy ain't playing no Tainted Jacob. It is my by far least favorite character in this game. Like, Tainted Jacob is like one of the main reasons why I'm just not motivated to start a fresh save file like everyone asks me to do. Because the thought of playing Tainted Jacob over and over again to do unlocks that I've already done is about as fun as it sounds. Like, no thank you. Oh my gosh, we got a planetarium. Now, of course, that's not to say that we will never do another save file. But it just, right now, it's just not something that I want to do. I really don't. And, you know, and we don't want, I don't want to do a goal and have like no fun doing it, because it's just not going to be fun for anybody. The commentary is not going to be great, and I'm just not going to have a good time. And I think that most people will probably agree that when Sinvicta's not having a good time, the commentary suffers a little bit. So, to say the least. Like, I'm being nice to myself. That's one thing people have been telling me. I need to be nicer to myself, not put myself down so much. I've always kind of done that. Like, I've always been in sort of like the self-deprecating humor category. It's not because I hate myself, of course. I just think that it's easier. If you can't laugh at yourself, then who can you really laugh at, you know? I feel like I'm pretty easy to make fun of. That's fine. I've always been easy to make fun of. I've been made fun of all my life. The thing I was made fun of the most back in the day as a kid was for just being Chinese. I know that sounds horrible, and kids are horrible, but it's true. Ooh, man, Venus. We saw how powerful Venus can be. That charm effect of Venus, man, that's nothing to sneeze at. Like, that is legit strong. Yeah, where I come from, like, you don't see any Asian kids at all. Like, I was pretty much the only Asian kid in the country, basically, in Bermuda. And I was made fun of and picked on for being Asian, for being Chinese. And I just kind of like I just thought that that's just how it was growing up. It wasn't until much later that we moved to this country that I found out, like, yeah, that's not right. it's not supposed to happen. Thankfully, like, you know, it stopped happening, especially when I got bigger and started playing sports and stuff. I guess it's why it's so easy for me to pick on myself, because I just kind of got used to it as a kid. Look at the charm effect here. So to anyone out there who's having a tough time being bullied, if you happen to be still in school or just having a rough go at things with other people, just know it can always get better. I mean, look at me. Made fun of for being Chinese, and I used to hear it all, man. Now we're playing video games. Still playing video games. I will take a movement speed upgrade. The Lost he does suffer from lack of movement speed, but we're still rolling along here. And last but not least, I forgot to read the final quote from last week's episode on the most fun run ever. It comes from It Lived, who said, it's an okay item, but I do not use it enough. If I had enough bombs, it can be very good for getting soul hearts, keys, small rock, etc. And yeah, you know, that's the thing too. It does require a little bit of an investment setup when it comes to the D12. Being able to utilize those rocks is important, but I would counter that by also saying that sometimes it's a self-sufficient item, because remember, it can re-roll anything that's on the ground in terms of rocks or sprites or anything like that. including turning them into barrels, which can also get you. So if you don't have a bomb, you're not completely SOL. You know, and in that sense, it is a sort of like a self-sustaining, self-perpetuating system of support. Get to do this room again, huh? See Venus there, just charming everything. Being very lovely, Isaac, as always. And no, I don't think I told Alex to do another cursed NPC AI waifu thumbnail. I might have. I don't know. Lost Soul Buddy, check him out now. He's gonna die right about now. I should have waited till we were done with this level, but it's Depths 2. There he goes. Oh no, what will we do? If it wasn't Depths 2, obviously we get Lost Soul Buddy at the end of the level, but here we are. We made our choices. And we're just gonna have to live with them. One dead Lost Soul Buddy at a time. You do have to be careful about charm effects because they, especially on knights, because they can cause them to do weird things like just stop on a dime and just instantly turn around like that right there. When you're playing as a Lost, you cannot afford to take any damage. In fact, you can't take any damage. We don't want car battery. I mean, car battery, if we had the Book of Shadows like we did yesterday, then yeah, car battery is automatic, but we don't. And if we're going to stick with this Eternal Desizzle, then we need to not roll through stuff twice, but also it essentially, if we get car battery with the Eternal D6, that essentially doubles the chance that we lose something, and we don't want that to happen. The mom fight. Didn't see. Okay, it's not champion. It's actually surprising we didn't get a champion mom. Us having an early champion's belt. I'm actually surprised that we're not seeing more Evil Eyes come out, especially considering the fact that we've got Perfection. So what this tells me is that Perfection is not luck-based. Or, Evil Eye is not luck-based. So, see what we get out of our Devil Deal first. Unequals Power, okay. Unequals Power ain't bad. Gonna give us a little bit of damage. I'm gonna take the Polaroid here, just because I don't feel like fighting Lamb today. And I also believe that this is kind of like a real, sort of like a real world showing of what the normal Isaac player is going to be expecting to play as with the Lost on their first time. Assuming that you're like playing in Repentance, obviously, which you shouldn't be doing anyway. Like that's one thing I've been telling people. A lot of times people ask me like, you know, hey, what's the best version for me of Isaac for me to start on? And what I tell them is don't play on Repentance. If you're a brand new player, there is no reason for you to play on Repentance. You're starting on a downward trend, right? You're just making things impossibly difficult on yourself. So this is get ready. This is Invicta's order of operations for what you should do as a new Isaac player. So let's assume that you've watched my videos for years and now you want to finally, you know, jump in and head first and see what the game's all about. So you might first ask, what do I buy? Which version of Isaac do I buy? And the answer is you start with Rebirth. You don't go to Afterbirth. You don't go to Afterbirth Plus. You don't go to Repentance. Go to Rebirth. Very first one's the only one that's available on Steam at the base level, right? So do that, okay? Then after that, yeah, I don't care about Perfection here. Perfection is not doing anything for us, so. And the Counterfeit Penny actually gives us more damage, so. Okay, so start with Rebirth. Buy it on Steam or wherever, and then get all your unlocks on Rebirth. Once you're done with that, you're going to upgrade to Afterbirth. Not Afterbirth Plus, not Repentance, Afterbirth. Get all your unlocks, get all your achievements, etc., etc. Then do the same thing for Afterbirth Plus, which I don't know is on Steam yet. The last I heard, you had to take it from Humble, so I'm not sure if you still have to go to Humble Games or not to do it. At least I think it was Humble that you had to go get it. Humble Bundle. And then get your unlocks, achievements, yada, yada, yada. And then finally go to Repentance. And what you want to be doing is you want to be doing challenges first as much as you can, because the challenges are going to hide away a lot of the good unlocks for you that make your runs easier before you even start doing the character challenges, like not challenges, but like, you know, the character unlocks with the post-it note. So do not, I repeat, do not start with Repentance. You can do it if you want to, but just know that is not a Sinvicta sanctioned plan of action if you're a new Isaac player. Like, if I were to do the new save file that people want me to do, I would not start on Repentance. I'd be starting on base Rebirth. I would be doing it exactly as I tell people to, because that's the only way to do it. Oh, apparently we got hit there. I didn't even know where we got hit. I'm too busy monologuing about Isaac, which is, I guess, what I do anyway. So now you can't use bombs against Matriarch because she'll just spit them out back at you. But I'm just trying to ignite her and get some damage down. Yeah, this is what happens when I'm paying attention, Chubb. See? We get a regular HP upgrade. And another HP upgrade. Neat. Now, if I was playing for realsies, I would have gone back and tried to maximize the amount of rerolls we could have gotten on that boss item from Matriarch by simply clearing 2 more rooms and then going back rerolling with the Eternal D6. I didn't do that because I'm kind of being lazy right now, but also we don't need to do that. It is unfortunate that we just got back-to-back HP upgrades, though, so what can you do? But what can you do? No, what can you do? We should go into the arcade here because we're trying to get some more damage thanks to our Money Equals Power pickup and Counterfeit Penny. So this should give us a decent amount of damage. Yeah, there we go. Obligatory, oh no. Our soul buddy, oh no. How could this happen to him? Damage, not by me. Look at that. Look at that. It's a rainbow champion too. Wow. Charm absolutely wrecks the Mr. Mines, Extendo Net guys, because they sometimes run into their own body and then just off themselves, which is pretty good. Makes things real simple. Same thing goes for the Diglets here. The worms just, I mean, they just run into each other. We don't care about the rain. And actually, we could use the Eternal D6 in there, but if it consumes the item pedestal, it triggers the room, and then we get nothing for no reason at all. So we're still 1 away from Guppy. If we can manage to get that before the Cathedral, that'd be nice. We have 1 re-roll, so even if we get Krampus here, which we probably will, we can re-roll it. Okay. A little pause there when the knight spawned was not something I was expecting. I mean, we did just run into him like an idiot, but another Eternal Heart, and we get Guppy. How about that? Guppy! All right, Lost Soul Buddy. Can he live through 1 room? He did it. How does he do it? Unbelievable. To the subreddit. Lost Soul Buddy survived. But Puppy did not. But yeah, this turned out to be a good little Lost run here. We only died once, and that's because I was halfway paying attention to the game because I was in mid-monologue. But if we didn't have 9 lives, obviously I would have paid way more attention. So that's the nice thing about... Oh, wow. Venus just destroyed this room. That's the nice thing about playing as regular Lost, is that you can have that flexibility and fun times of getting such items as Dead Cat, the transformation items. And we can clear this. Maybe this damage upgrade. At the very least, maybe we'll get some money, or we'll just get a range upgrade that we can't do anything with. Oh no, lost soul buddy. Oh no. Getting close to maxing out our damage potential here with money equals power. Room can just go be a room. This room can just go room right off, if you know what I mean. The Globins, I mean, how good is Venus? Like, seriously, Venus just showing everyone, like, there were so many awesome replies to that Venus, you know, the Power of Charm episode that we had, that people were like, I had no idea that Venus was this strong. And I'm like, dude, I'm right there with you. I'd never thought about how strong front-facing charm damage can be. Like, enemies they just kill themselves. And you think about all the BS ways that this game will try to kill you, right? Like, just running things straight at you. Well, you can turn it around on the game and be like, ha ha ha, Uno reverse. And then things just kind of run into themselves. So pay attention here and try not to lose any of our lives. And I did say I need some practice on the Lost, so gonna be slightly skewed now that we have Guppy and 9 lives, but you know, all about assurances, right? Or now then weave a little hot bomb into the mix as down goes Isaac. No problem at all. Got our Emperor card to slam the door on this fun run. So good run. Good run. Overall, I'd say that it could have been a lot worse. That's for sure. Ooh, checkpoint fizzle. And yeah, we'll take sulfuric acid. Betrayal doesn't really matter, but I guess we'll take it. And we can take the sprinkler just for funsies. And wrap it on up here. So thank you for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you click the like button, leave a comment down below, and that leads us to today's question of the day, which is, what is your ranking of the Lost? Regular Lost, not talking about Tainted Lost. We did this for Tainted Maggie, now we're doing it for the regular Lost. Do you like to play him? Where does he fall in your ranking for Isaac characters on your tier list? Is he A tier, B tier, C tier, S tier? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, everybody. Have a great start to your brand new midweek here at the Mosh Pit. And as always, I will see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I'd like to thank some patrons of mine like Goku of Earth, Charleston, and Luke. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find over at patreon.com/Sinvicta.